Hello and welcome to Frozen Synapse Live number 14. Today we'll be covering DGL number 6, which has finally finished, and with me today is Nietzsche. Nietzsche, you there?
Yeah, can you hear me?
Yep.
Eh?
Yeah, I'm hearing you.
How's it going?
Going fine. Right, we'll be looking at some of your matches today.
How's it going? Cool. Yeah, unfortunately I didn't win this one.
Well, you did get to the
My
finals
play's
though.
been suffering from lack of play, unfortunately. But, yeah, I did get to the finals. Unfortunately, I gotta say, in the finals map, I got thoroughly taken apart, so... A little unfortunate that we have to be showing those games today, but that's just the way of things.
Oh yes, it's
Sometimes you just
quite
lose.
horrible. Yeah.
There's a nice announcement that we get to make, which is that ELO is finally implemented.
Yep.
Hooray!
It was
And we know it. Who's number one?
Jeffis.
Jeffis, the guy that's been winning all these tournaments.
Yeah, and I just beat him in number 11.
Oh, you took him out of number 11?
Yeah.
Nice
Yeah,
work.
gave me a
work.
nice boost to my ranks. Took me from 115th to 44th.
Yeah, that seems a little odd to me, but at the same time, this system must be working if Jeffis is the number one player, because he's been, taking part in these tournaments and just killing, and so it makes sense that he's number one. So it's nice that the system is really starting to reflect the actual skills of the players.
Yeah.
It might need to get tweaked a little bit, because it does seem to me a little strange to me that you would play, win 2 games against Jeffs and go from like 100-something to 44th, but...
Well, it makes a bit of a difference winning against someone who's 300 points above you, so...
Yeah, actually that is quite true. Someone is... HD says that there's no sound, or... I don't know. Hello?
Hello.
Okay. Are we all good? Is the stream all good?
Well, it works for score graphics, and it worked for, who was it earlier? Someone at least. Arcane,
Okay.
I think. So it should be working.
Alright, cool. And,
Yeah, sound is fine apparently.
Okay, great.
HD just sucks, that's all. Okay. Well, let's get to the first game then.
Well, wait. Before we get into the matches, I wanted to bring something up that I thought that the community should know about, and that we should talk about. Which is, if you look at the developer's blog site, an entry from September 9th says, over the last week we've been collecting a lot of thoughts and opinions from the core advanced FS player base. So far I feel like we've neglected these guys a bit, and ELO is the first step of several plans we have to make the ranking and matchmaking work better at the top level of competition. I think that most of the players that listen to our stream are in fact this high level of competition, and I think basically that we should take Amrath at his word on this post, and that we should really think about organizing and well, not necessarily organize, but at least discussing more in the forums and IRC about potential changes to the game that can make this game better at this high level of competition.
Yeah, I tend to not so gently push Amrath a bit towards things that would benefit the DGL and FSL community and the high level community in general. For example, the Shrike pushed quite strongly for ELO rating. I think he's one of the big reasons why it's been implemented. Without his support for that, it might have been even longer. I, of course, cannot know for sure, but I've noticed a lot that he's been pushing for it. And meanwhile, I've been more busy with Swiss, which is a more important issue for me, as that's more about making things work instead of improving the meta game.
Right. So I recently posted something because, as people probably people have noticed, I haven't been playing a lot. Part of that is because I've been very busy with some real life stuff, and so it's been kind of hard for me to play. And of course, when I play, I really like to feel that my play is relevant on a competitive level. And at the moment, I really don't have the time to be playing tournaments. And I would now that the ladder is functional, I'm really excited to play some ladder games and stuff like that. But basically, I've felt as though the just pure fun aspect of the game has kind of not totally run out for me, but to the extent at which when I play, I want to be having fun from competing with other people. And so I've been thinking about this game quite a bit, and I recently posted something in a forum that was probably also pretty integral to getting the developers to start working on the game. This forum post called Mode 7, You Need to Start Supporting the Game Further. Did you see that?
Yeah, I'm subscribed to it. I've made several posts in there as well.
Right.
Mostly responding to Icebrain with some of his bit silly stuff at times.
Okay, well, I recently put a post in there. I'm going to, I just put the link in the chat. Now, of course, I'm just one player who plays the game, and this is my idea of what I think would be good for the game. Now, I know a lot of people are really like random map generation, and I completely understand it. I completely understand the enjoyment that people get out of being dealt a certain situation and being forced to come up with something from that. So I'm not, like I said, I'm just one player that's playing the game, but I feel as though all of us who are interested in playing the game competitively and are quite good at this game, because the developers have basically called for it, we should start posting our ideas on how to improve the game. And I originally posted this idea about introducing a mechanic by which me and my opponent would take turns picking units while we had sight of the map. Now, I think that mechanic would be amazing. I think it would add a really interesting depth to the game. But I didn't think, when I was writing this, I didn't really think about the fact that this would end up making the game a lot longer and could pose a lot of problems for players who are in different time zones, because they have to go back and forth picking. But I was talking to some people in IRC, and Jeff has brought up the idea of selecting units from a pool such that it would only take one turn. So you would have a randomly generated pool of units, and you would select them before the game. And so then you could sort of tailor your strategy to the map and to what you think your opponent might choose as well. Like I said, this is just an idea that I had, but I think that if more of us can start thinking about these ideas and discussing them, so long as Amrath is real when he says that he's going to be listening to us, I think that
so
yeah, exactly. I think that we could have this could be a chance to make this absolutely amazing game just that much better for us who really enjoy playing it at the level that we do. So I would encourage everyone to move on to that forum and post responses to all of us who have posted there. Or maybe we could, after this is done, we could start up a new topic with where we can discuss some potential balance changes or things like that. But overall, I would say that I would really like some of the other top players to think about my suggestion. Just basically think about ways in which we, the game can give each player a little bit more control over his starting position, because I feel as though that could be. I feel as though, first of all, it's a problem, but that it also could be a very interesting part of the game that would be interesting for all of us to explore. So.
Well, I can't say I agree with your idea, but I agree with your basis for it. I think there needs to be some way to set certain restrictions on matches. For example, no uneven teams. That might be one possible restriction, or each player either has an explosive unit or doesn't. There's no games, for example, where one has one and one doesn't.
Right, but then then you run into problems with like shotguns being particularly effective on certain maps.
Yeah,
or
but
you run into
the
very common. Or you run into the very common problem of snipers being incredibly ineffective on maps.
Yeah, but that would also be the sorts of restrictions one could make.
Right. So do you feel as though they should just make absolutely even teams?
Not for the default matchmaking, but I think it should be an option. And, well, the best way would be if it wasn't part of the custom match interface, but I think between the regular matchmaking and that, so that it would show that it wasn't a custom match, so it hasn't been tampered with. It would show the exact settings, and it would be randomly generated based on those settings. That would allow it to be used, for example, for tournament play without tampering being possible.
Right. So you don't think that basically some sort of mechanic where you get to choose units, like say for instance you have like a disputed game that's 4 versus 4 units, and you get a pool. The pool is the same for both players, of 7 units to pick, and you can pick 4 of them and you leave out 3.
Yeah,
and that pool is randomly generated. It would create this new interesting dimension of the game where, first of all, you wouldn't be forced into symmetrical matchmaking every single time.
True that.
Symmetrical unit composition, which I think is the only other way really of solving it, because
the pool thing, it could work. It could definitely work, as long as they're the same for each team, at least.
Yeah.
Or at least contains the same types of units. For example, one might be able to pick 2 MGs, while another might only be able to pick 1, but both players would be able to pick MGs or rocket launchers or whatever.
Right. So that was my... That was like, that's just part of the, I guess, the discussion that I'm hoping to generate, because I really love this game, but one of the big problems for me personally is the random map generation. I just, now that I've gotten better at the game, things that I used to see as like small disadvantages, I'm starting to really understand the consequences of, and I think a lot of other players are feeling that as well. And it would just be kind of cool if you had some control over your unit composition on the map, and you could, think about a strategy going into it.
It could be interesting.
I think that would be
if it's easy enough to implement. I think Omrot should try something similar.
Yeah, at least maybe having it be a possibility for tournaments. But anyway, that's my bit.
Yep.
Everyone else should, contribute their own little bits of ideas because the developers are listening to us, and if we come up, if something seems good and people are interested in it, people want it to happen, we could see it in the future. And I think that one of the big problems is some of the limitations of random map generation. So I think that we should address the developers on that issue.
Yeah, I agree. And yeah, if anyone has any suggestions or similar things they want to bring to Omrath and he isn't around, just tell me or Sid or the Shrike or similar, and we'll just tell Omrath the next time we see him.
Yeah. Yeah, well, it looks also like they are, this one forum post, it looks like the developers are reading it, so,
yeah, but, Paul, I think, stated that they're probably going to make a new thread with a specific rule set to keep it in hand. For example, there were a few a bit insulting and trollish posts in the thread, and that's really something that everyone should want to avoid, as it doesn't benefit anyone. It makes it harder for the developers to take people seriously, and it comes off as rude, because it is, really.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. Anyway, I don't know. I guess we could get into the matches now, but
yeah,
I hope people are going to be. Go ahead.
Yeah, I just want to mention that dev gaming leagues are starting up again. We're starting the so-called Season 1, where the whole season will be ranked ELO rating. So for every tournament you participate in, that's a chance to rise on the rankings, and the overall 8 highest ranking most likely will be invited afterwards to a special tournament.
Cool.
So that should be interesting.
Oh wow, that sounds fun. So it's going to be more like sports league.
Yeah.
Like a finals.
Yeah.
Kind of. It's like some of the stuff they do in StarCraft is kind of like that, but
yeah, it's basically just a tournament within a tournament, kinda.
Yeah.
The ladder consists of all the tournaments in total. There will be 12 or 13 tournaments most likely in Season 1. So even if you don't show up for all of them, you should still be able to do very well on the rankings if you play well enough.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Cool.
With that, let's just get to the first match then.
Sid says, get to the games, get to the games.
Yeah.
Alright.
Yeah, the first match is between Thiago TM and Chris Cruel, and it's secure.
Yep. Do you have it up?
In a moment.
Okay. I've already got it pulled up.
Right. Big bid here by Chris Cruel. He's got an MG, 3 MGs, while Thiago TM has a grenade launcher and, from what I can tell, 2 MGs. Let's just... Yeah, 2 MGs.
And it looks as though Chris Cruel is countering trying to counter the grenade by making a very large bid.
Yeah.
Not a bad decision. This is another thing I actually mentioned in my forum post, is that I think that explosives should be taken out of secure, but that's another matter.
I like explosives in basically all modes, really. It can make things much more interesting at times, but I don't think it should happen like this where only one team has explosives.
Yeah, but you don't think that you could get into a problem where if both sides have a grenade, they both just bid the smallest amount because the grenade does like area of effect?
Yeah.
Explosion.
Well, explosives work badly on some maps, definitely.
Yeah.
But on this map, for
maps.
example, there's plenty of places to go to avoid a grenade, so...
That's true.
I think this map will be pretty balanced if both teams had a grenade launcher or a rocket launcher.
Okay.
Yeah, let's play the first
So
turn.
yeah,
Yeah, Tiago TM fires a grenade, killing off a unit while just staying in one place for now. Pretty smart tactic, really. Got him a free kill without him
yeah,
really being at any risk.
yeah. Yeah, just a nice, smart play. I'm surprised that Chris Cruel didn't. Well, it's hard to plan for. Anyway, let's go on to turn 2.
Yep. Yeah, he now goes towards the area and gets both his MGs into the area, and with this current position I don't think it will be possible for Chris Cruel to dislodge him, so Chris Cruel has now basically lost.
Yeah. And I imagine if we play through turn 3, we just see, well, the end of the game.
Yep. Well, that was a quick game. Chris Cruel should have defended the lower area a bit more, but that grenade made it really hard for him, really.
Yeah,
He shouldn't have bid this bottom area here, as that's what allowed Tiago TM to just get over to this wall to avoid MGs. Had he not bid those two bottom squares here, it would have been much harder for Tiago TM to attack the area.
Yeah.
Right, let's go onwards to the next game. They have apparently only done 2 games.
Yeah, I think all the matches are like that.
Yeah, from what you've sent me at least.
Yeah.
Right, and then there's charge. Right, Tiago TM has 2 MGs and a sniper, while Chris Cruel has 1 MG, a rocket launcher, and a sniper. Should make things interesting. Not a lot of walls here to blow off, but enough to be somewhat of a threat at least.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see. I think most of the strategy here will be what Chris Cruel is going to be doing with his sniper and trying to get his sniper into a position where it can potentially take out the sniper of his opponents, because, well, as soon as that happens, the good portion of the bid line will be easy to cover. So I imagine what he'll do is probably try to take out the building right at the bid line and post his sniper in some covered position, either right up at the window or at the block toward the furthest to his side, and try to get an advantage on the enemy sniper that way.
Yeah. And this is a pretty nice bid actually by Tiago TM. It seems he purposefully bid exactly this far to prevent Chris Cruel from getting his attempted bid, which would let him just stay behind this wall here without Tiago TM being much of a threat.
Yeah.
So,
oh, right. Yeah, no, that's a good point. Anyway, let's play turn 1.
Yep. Chris Cruel doesn't use his rocket launcher at all this turn. Well, you're right. You don't have to use it. It can be useful at times to just walk somewhere instead, as you get further and your opponent doesn't know where you are.
Yeah, it can be a quite like an interesting idea to hide the rocket. However, I'm not sure what it's going to be doing in the place that it ends up at.
Yeah, it can't shoot anywhere useful right now, but of course Chris Cruel couldn't have known that Tiago TM wouldn't at all try to advance at the top, though due to Chris Cruel having a sniper, advancing at the top would be a bit strange.
Right. Yeah, no, this is a really interesting. I think this is a really interesting map. It's a really good map. Let's have a look at turn 2. I'm excited to see how it pans out. Oh, okay, I see. So he had thought that Tiago would be moving towards the top left corner of that building, or top right corner. Yeah, top right corner of that building. But it looks now like Chris Krull is pretty well positioned to defend. We'll see though what ends up happening.
Yeah, and there's also the factor that Thiago TM has 2 MGs while Chris Krull only has 1.
Right.
So he can do distractions or similar to get the kill.
Right.
So let's see, turn 3. He does a bit of distraction down there and avoids getting killed by rockets and snipes the sniper.
Oh.
Nicely done there.
Yeah, very nicely done. I think. What do you think? Do you think this is a situation where Chris Krull should have had the focus order on the enemy sniper, and that he had the kind of information necessary to be able to make that decision?
Well, that would have left him vulnerable, as Thiago TM could have, for example, called the bluff pretty much and killed the sniper that way.
But he might have been able to use his number 1 MG to engage if that were to happen. I don't know though.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, Thiago TM could instead, for example, have used 1 MG as a distraction for both an MG and the sniper, so that he would be completely unsure to kill one way or another. Though that might still be somewhat risky, but yeah.
So what do you think Chris Krull does in this situation, though? That's what I'm trying to figure out myself.
Well, I think I'd probably just move somewhere else where I'm not at such risk.
Huh. Yeah, I don't know. Interesting.
Yep.
Anyway, let's look at turn 4.
Yeah, Chris Krull destroys the last wall there. But that doesn't really help him much.
Well, now Thiago's got to start running. Yeah,
it's turn 5 now, so he'll have to get up to the wall at least.
But it looks like he should be able to just power through there.
Yeah, he can just cover that upper window with his sniper and then just run his MGs up to the wall.
Oh, right, that's right, because he can probably get there. At that window area. I always forget about that. That little space you can kind of creep up into.
Yeah, he can do that, or he can move to just below this corner here and be slightly out of line of sight, I think, with Chris Krull.
Okay. Yeah,
I don't think there's quite enough space at the rest of the wall to stand that. But yeah, by the window at least it should be possible to just duck down and win.
Yeah, he can also probably just, like I said, just power through the bottom and exchange.
Yeah, he can do that
that's
as well.
That's probably the route that I would take. Anyway, let's look at the next turn.
Yep. Yeah, he sends one guy towards the bottom and yeah, he loses an MG, but is now nicely in position on the line basically. So
yeah, well, Thiago's got to be careful here though, because he can't. I'm not sure he can leave it there, because he can take out that wall, move his. Chris Krull can take out the wall, move his number 1 MG up a little bit, and win the fight with the number 3 MG. Of course, he doesn't even have to worry at all about the sniper anymore, because there's no way that it can get to the line in adequate time. So that would be my thought. Of course, I would assume though Thiago would think that one through and try to find a nice little spot behind the rightmost wall of that building in order to just stay safe from all that.
Well, he can just run a bit to the right so that he can't be targeted from the window. So even if a rocket does blow up this bit of wall here, he'll have the stillness advantage and all that.
Yeah, that's what I meant. I'm just pointing out that That's what
So
seems to be going on in the position. So let's see what happens. Oh yeah, he gets he gets just out of the possible field of vision.
Yeah, it does surprise me that Chris Cruel didn't fire a rocket at all.
Oh yeah, I didn't even notice that. I would have I would definitely have popped out that that part, because you know, it's like you just have to, I mean, you have to be engaging no matter what. I mean, if you lose, you lose, but you know, you have to take the guy out.
Yeah.
I don't know. Interesting idea.
Yep. And now your first matches.
Right.
Yeah, it's you versus Pride. Pride is pretty good. I've played him in one DGL. That's a while ago now, but yeah, I remember he was pretty good.
Yeah. I don't quite remember these matches at all. So I don't know. We'll see.
So yeah, first up is Charge. You've got a shotgunner, a sniper, a grenade launcher, and an MG. Very diverse team. While your opponent has a MG, a shotgunner, a rocket launcher, and a grenade launcher. So pretty interesting teams here. You've got more direct fire units, but he's also got a rocket launcher, so...
Oh, this is a... I remember this game now. This is an exciting game. This is a good game. Sorry to interrupt you, man.
Nah, I was pretty much done talking. So,
yeah.
Should be interesting.
Yeah, so my initial plan was to use the sniper and the shotgun together to try and put pressure on the top area, as the sniper will have an advantage up there on any unit that tries to engage the advancing shotgun. This proved to be somewhat problematic due to the threat of a rocket launcher exploding on the back wall, but I don't exactly remember how that all played out in my head. Anyway, let's just have a look at turn 1.
Yep. He makes a hole in the wall there, which doesn't really do much.
Yeah. And here I started to realize that his strategy for preventing my shotgun moving forward up there was actually pretty solid, because of the placement of the grenade. I'm not sure if I scouted that, but I just I guess I kind of figured it would be in that area or something. I don't remember, but I just remember feeling like initially that this whole idea of using the shotgun and the sniper together at the top was like almost overpowered, but then I started to realize that the position of his grenade and rocket were gonna cause me some problems.
Yeah. Well, let's watch the second turn here. Ooh, you almost get your MG taken out. Luckily for you, that bit of cover was pretty thick and you were a bit behind it, so...
Yeah, that was something I knew was there. Like, I mean, I planned for that. I didn't, like, get to the outcome phase and suddenly go, oh no, it's coming! But, yeah, so... Here, well, I think I probably was a little too hasty to retreat. What do you think?
You mean with the shotgunner?
Yeah.
I'm not sure really. I mean, he's still got plenty of time to get to the line, so...
True.
But he will have a hard time actually getting to the line with the grenade and the rocket launcher and everything.
Yeah.
I mean, for example, he could take out this top bit of wall here between his shotgunner and the doorway, and that's basically prevent you from advancing your shotgunner out the door. Well, let's watch turn 3. That's some nice positioning on his shotgunner there. Base
Yeah.
barely blocked off by a wall. Well, you're still going
Yeah.
to have a hard time advancing here.
Yeah.
But your grenade launcher is in position to do some damage. Your MG
Yeah,
though
definitely.
is way too far back, really.
Yeah. Yeah, you're probably right. I think the issue was that I had to get a stillness advantage. And here is something that I think is just like nice and instructive to point out, is that number 3 shotgun, like he actually puts him like on lockdown. You know, it's like it can't really move, but just him being there causes his defense to be so difficult, because he has to, you know, his units are tied down to defending that area, and I think that eventually is actually what wins me the game. So
Yeah.
let's look at turn 4.
Pride's move here though was really, really, really risky. Had he
Yeah.
been his timing been slowed down at all, he would have died from his own grenade. I mean,
Yeah.
for example, if you'd run your shotgunner out for a few milliseconds and then back without dying, then Pride's shotgunner would have died, for example.
Yeah.
Or even if you'd run into your death, he'd die himself.
Yeah. Huh. Anyway,
Turn
I guess
4.
we'll play turn 4.
Yeah, you get your grenade launcher across the line, so that's good progress.
Mm-hmm.
It will be pretty hard for him to take that out, but it also depends on if he knows it's there or not. It
Yeah.
doesn't actually look like he saw it going down there.
I didn't think he saw it either. When I played, I remember not thinking that it was scouted.
Yeah. I can't check line of sight either.
Right.
I mean, it might maybe be in line of sight of that rocket launcher, but I'm really not sure.
Yeah. But
Well, as long as you can keep that grenade launcher alive, you won.
yeah.
But you should probably apply pressure elsewhere as well.
Yeah, well, you see, all his defenses suddenly got distracted towards the top, and I think this was pretty huge. I think it was a mistake for him to move the MG up that far. I think he still should have tried to utilize him in the defense of the bottom area, because so long as the shotgun's where he put it, my shotgun can't really do any damage to that area. And so long as he has only one unit committed to the defense of that top area, I mean, he's fine. But if he's doing what he's doing now, it causes his defense to be a lot more difficult.
Yeah, I agree. Let's watch turn 5 then. He moves his shotgunner down actually. And yeah, he manages to avoid the grenades nicely.
Yeah, that was pretty impressive. I remember thinking that was pretty awesome. Now here in turn 6, this was pretty awesome, because my number 1 MG is going to be able to make it there in time, but I don't know. There were just so many variables. It ends up turning out pretty funny. So let's just play through it.
Yeah, I like how your grenade launcher survives the first shot by the shotgun,
Yeah.
but not the second one.
Yeah, I had it so it...
I'm not
It was
sure if... the MG barely makes it on time.
Yeah.
I mean, it's 100 milliseconds basically.
Yeah. And, yeah, so that's how the game ended. I remember thinking that, like, thinking the turn before that it was, that, you know, the win was, like, there, but then just, like, all of a sudden being like, oh no, he can do this and this.
Yeah. So,
Yeah.
well played, really, by both of you.
Yeah.
Wait, how did that MG at the top there die?
Sniper.
Okay. Yeah, very nicely played there. So let's watch your second game against him,
Yeah.
which is secure.
Right. And then we have to go to the final 2 games, which are just a travesty. Just awful.
Yeah. For once we're actually able to see the spawn zones, it seems.
Oh yeah, you're right.
So yeah, you've got 2 MGs and a grenade launcher, while Pride has 2 MGs and a shotgunner. Both are pretty good teams, really. So this should be interesting. I think Pride's bid is a bit too large, really. There's no good reason to make it that big.
Yeah. Also, yeah, I thought it was too large too. And also I thought there was a huge mistake in putting the number 2 MG where it is. I just feel like because of there's so many buildings, like maybe later on that will be useful because you do have to cover those, edges of the map. But early on, when I have no chance really of getting there, it's like you might as well use that MG in a more offensive way. But I don't know, that's just my opinion, man.
Yeah, I agree with you, really. I mean, the chance of him actually trying to attack on those edges is extremely low, especially since a lot of players plays MGs or snipers like that.
Yeah.
Hmm.
But anyway, you want to play turn 1?
Yep. You play it really safe and get a kill on the MG, while meanwhile he's running his grenade, and I mean his shotgunner up there. Pretty smart, really, and of course if you had any units up there, that would have netted him a kill or 2. So I
Yeah.
can't fault that tactic. He probably shouldn't have gone this far up, though. He'd probably have left it at the first. I mean, he should have stopped after the first window and probably gone back.
Yeah, and if you notice, my number 1 MG moves away according to a certain timing. I felt as though he needed to cover a portion of that middle area for a little bit of time. And then I was worried that, not that he would actually get to me on that turn, but that he would get close enough where his shotgun would be a big problem.
Yeah. Well, let's see turn 2 then. He's currently 1 unit down, so you got a nice advantage there. Your grenade launcher doesn't do much good, but it does prevent him from trying to get to you that way. And you've got all 3 units pretty close to the zone now, and due to his machine gunner positioning, he can't really defend that area. You can just run into the building, for example, and there's not much he can do.
Yeah. So once again, with these very large bids, it's really just about isolating that one weakness and then going for it.
Yeah, for example, you can now just drop a grenade by the side of the room and then run in, and that would probably prevent his shotgunner from taking you out, for example.
Well, yeah, actually now it's... the game actually, I realize, is already won.
Yeah, so yeah.
Actually, he could have, I don't know, anyway, play the last turn, because I can just run my, grenade in there. He doesn't have the time.
Yeah, with that grenade location, wouldn't you have died on the next turn if you somehow hadn't won? Of course, that would have been logically impossible. If the grenade went off, that would be because grenade launcher was dead anyway, so it doesn't matter.
Right. It was something to do. I fired that. I fired that. Had something to do with. He actually took a bad route. I remember this. He took a funny route with the shotgun. There was a way that he could have gotten the shotgun just in there and killed the grenade. And that's why I threw that. And it was something where I felt like I think I even measured out the time and I realized like I was still in there for 3 seconds, and maybe I just threw the grenade just for kind of like a flashy little thing, because I figured you would do that, but he didn't even take the that route, and he didn't end up in like not even close to being in time. So
Yeah. Right. Well played here. So let's see the final two matches versus Thiago TM.
yeah, and I'm like gonna have to apologize in advance for these because like I haven't been playing much, and I really have just, you know, I don't know. My play is like absolutely terrible in these games, so I don't know.
Well, right. Some interesting teams here. 2 MGs, a sniper and a grenade launcher versus 2 snipers, an MG and a shotgunner.
Yeah.
Lots of rooms all over and lots of cover as well.
Yeah. I initially felt like this would be a fairly good map for me, but then I just proceed to blow it like one turn after another. So sad.
Well, let's watch you blow the first turn then.
Yeah. Play it?
Ah yeah, you lose your sniper, or rather, one of them.
Very stupidly. Of course he's going to put his sniper right there, and he will have the stillness advantage. I have no idea. I just was not playing well and didn't even think about it. And there goes one unit.
Yep. He's going heavily towards the top of the map. And so are you really, so I'm guessing there will be some encounters up there pretty soon. You should use your shotgunner really to win against those units. But yeah, let's see. Right, turn 2. You lose the shotgunner to a grenade.
Yeah.
Nicely done.
that was pretty funny. I like how you said that. You lose your shotgunner to a grenade. Nicely done. Yeah. Just another blunder here. I don't know. I just had been busy and like unable to play, and then it was like, you know, he messaged me that he's like, "Wow, why aren't you playing this, man?" So I was like, just like got on and made some moves, and I don't know. I probably should have just withdrew, but at the same time, it's like, you know, I don't know.
Yeah.
I gotta play through it. So.
Yeah. Let's see. Turn 3 then.
Yeah.
Let me guess. You lose your you lose your MG to the grenade. At least he took out his sniper.
Yeah.
But you're basically screwed now.
Yeah. On turn 4, on turn 4, I thought I had just put continue on site and leave, but I didn't, apparently. And so you have to wait 2 more turns, but that's pretty much what ends up happening. I don't know, there must have been some weird timer there. Do you notice it? It's weird. How?
Yeah.
On the last turn, it doesn't just move immediately.
Well, I guess there was a small movement point at the end there.
Yeah.
Or similar.
That must have been it. Alright, let's get through this. Next match.
Yeah. And turn 5, you just run off the map. Yeah. Okay. Last match of the day. Great. I managed to erase the numbers, of course. Just give me a moment here.
Okay. This is 902.
Well, oh no, this is the wrong match. That was some random extermination match. Never mind that.
The last digits are 902.
Yeah, I found it now.
2992.
Right, charge.
Fortunately, I'm not able to load it. Anyway. Oh.
This is a pretty screwed up map here. I mean, you've got only one tiny sliver of a way where you can advance. I mean, you can't even spawn in the window here, it looks like, at least.
Yeah.
And you can't go along the bottom. And you can't go along the top, or maybe along the top, but still.
Yeah,
that's a screwed up map.
Yeah, exactly. And that's why I don't know. I mean, he easily knew where I was gonna bid, and you can see he bid like one more. And yeah.
Yeah.
He just has a pretty because the map it just splits up everything. It's well, I don't know.
Yeah.
I wouldn't say it's actually that imbalanced. It is just a really odd map.
Well, that says pretty imbalanced, but well,
That's
if
okay.
he had had a grenade, then it would have been basically impossible for you. But still,
Yeah.
I mean, if you hadn't had a grenade, it would be very easy for him to just run his shotgun or something into this over here and just duck over in the corner and stay there.
Yeah.
So yeah, let's play the first turn then.
Mhm.
Nothing much happens.
Yeah. You know, you can see how my defense is going to work. Use the number one MG basically to try and cover the only entrance to that building, and the shotgun at the top and the grenade right in the middle, just to stay flexible and be able to throw a grenade in both places. Now, at the end of this turn, I want to stop and show you something. I had scouted the number 3 shotgun, and if you look at my shotgun's command line here, you'll notice that there's a short.
Well, we can't actually look at it.
Ah.
You can, since it's your match, but
I can't since it's my game. So I scouted it, and this is just another instructive moment. I scouted it, and it said something like 0.8 second, last seen 0.8 seconds, and I don't remember exactly where it was. But what I had my shotgun do is, you know, the basic like little trick with the stillness advantage. You know, you run forward and then you stop right where right before he would come into range. But the thing is I didn't do it quite right, and the timing was just off enough so that he won. If I was so basically, if the wait timer was a little bit earlier, I would have won the engagement. But because I wasn't precise enough, I lost. So
yeah. And what we also see with this SG here at the end of turn 1 is he doesn't look to the left, so you don't see the sniper over there.
Oh. Yeah, you know, you're right.
That's somewhere you should have scouted. So,
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. Right, turn 2 then. Ah, yeah, I see what you mean. But if you had stayed there, you would have gotten killed by the sniper, of course.
Yeah, but there was, I had it perfect so that,
actually,
you know,
it looks like the sniper had you on ignore, actually.
Well, sure, but the thing is that my whole idea was I had the wait timer right so that if he didn't run after me, I would have just evaded the sniper shot, right?
Okay.
But if he did, and I would have won the engagement with the shotgun and then lost the sniper, and then we would have traded into a more favorable situation for me. But that's pretty much
how it did go.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, it was like my only real, one of my only chances on this map, and the rest of the game is pretty much just clean up.
Yeah.
He very smartly at the end of the last turn, he very smartly avoids my last ditch attempt for a distraction, and uses he must have used a focus order on his shotgun, or maybe maybe the angle is just different. I don't know. I don't know if you saw if you are at the last turn yet or not.
Yeah, I'm looking a bit at the last turn here. So yeah. Yeah, that was the last match actually, thus winning Thiago TM the DGL number 6 tournament. So
yeah, and very well played from him. He's I think he's friends with Diamir. they I guess they both bought and like are learning the game together, and obviously Diomir's really strong player too. So
Yeah. Where is he ranked now? Actually, I'll check where he's ranked now. This list is empty. That's nice. I can't seem to access the global rankings, but from his profile, I see he's ranked number 15 at the moment. So yeah, he's a good player as well.
So if you're wondering why I like losing to this like number 14 ranked player, it's like that's why, because he's buddies with Diomir, and like they probably like, I don't know, get together and like come up with diabolical little strategies to beat everyone. So
yeah, the rankings seem to be broken at the moment. Actually, I mean it's accessible from people's profiles, but not the actual global rankings. I guess it could just be a problem on my machine, but I'm not sure.
Well, maybe, I mean, I know that Amrath was basically, he's like said he was tinkering with it and everything, so I don't know, maybe that's what's happening, is that he's tinkering with it. But
yeah.
Anyway, I guess that's that for today, yeah? Unless do you have a game of the week?
No, not really, no.
Okay.
Sadly.
Yeah. So I will see everyone next week. Everyone get really excited about the changes here to the game, and
the upcoming DGLs.
Yeah, the upcoming DGLs. That's a nice announcement as well. But
yeah, and
let's keep talking about this. I'll probably be in IRC.
Some of the time.
Yeah, well, I'll probably be in it a little bit more this week, as I've going to be a lot less busy this week. And you know, I'd love to hear people's ideas about the game, because, like I said, I really love this game. I think it's amazing. I think the developers did an incredible job with the concept and everything, but I think it needs improvement, and I would like to just hear other players' ideas about it, and hopefully we can do some things to influence the developers to get off their ass, and do some cool things to the game. So
yeah, the 2-week timeout is coming tomorrow, as far as I know, and the patch is scheduled for Friday next week.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Is it going to be like, I mean, is it the same patch just with bug fixes?
It's mostly the same as the beta patch, but with some more additions. For example, in Disputed you can now see where all the boxes went, even if they spawned on a unit.
Okay.
I had a nice use of that in one of my matches. Who was that against? I'm not quite sure. Dimer maybe, or someone else. So it let me know basically that my shotgunner had the box, and thus I knew I could just run all my units off the map and win. So yeah.
Cool. All right. Well, like I said, I'll be around more now, and especially getting a little bit more excited about the game since it's being improved. And I'll see everyone in IRC, and let's all keep in touch.
Yeah. Thank you all for watching, and see you on Monday.